Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Let's discuss what are the best cheap supplies and items that you can buy for your prepping supplies stockpile. We know that we need to have food and water. Then there are items that can help provide comfort and can keep our lives running smoothly. Let's look at some of those best cheap items that you might want to add to your prepping supply. Let's look at matches. You can buy a large box of strike-on-the-box matches. You can buy a pack of little boxes. And the nice thing about the little boxes is you can take them individually and put them in your car, in your bug-out bag, different places in your home where maybe you have candles or something that you need to light. And then you have them where you need them. Whereas if you have one box of matches, you have to remember, where did I put that one box? Plus, the thing about strike-on-the-box matches is you need to make sure that you keep the strike plate dry. There's a chemical on the tip of the match, there's a chemical on the strike plate, and when you strike them together, they combine, and that's what makes it light. If you don't have the dry strike plate, you're not going to be able to light your strike-on-the-box matches. They have to have that section of the box. That's why they're called that. Besides matches, maybe you'd like some long utility lighters or just a pack of lighters. These are inexpensive and they're very simple to find at most stores, and you can really utilize them in a lot of ways, no matter what your day-to-day life is. I like the long utility lighters because they're long reach, and you can reach into a barbecue, a fire pit, into a tall candle that's deep inside. You can reach these things that you may not be able to reach with, say, a standard lighter or with a match. This makes it really simple. So look for these, make sure that you have several of them. And recently, I had gone to the Dollar Tree when I was in the lower 48, and they had a self-checkout. And when I put these in at the self-checkout, it set off an alarm or something, and I had to wait for the clerk to come over to make sure that I was over 18 or something to be able to purchase these. And I'd never had that happen before. Have you ever had a challenge trying to buy the long utility lighters? What if the lights go out? You can pick up a pack of tea light candles. You can light them with your matches or lighters. You can also find some little battery operated tea lights. I found these at Dollar Tree, 2 for $1.25. That is a good bargain, and they run for 240 total hours. So you can get a little bit of light out of even a little battery light, and then you don't have to worry so much about, say, leaving it unattended and inadvertently starting a fire. Whenever you're burning something, you need to make sure you never leave it unattended, and you be very careful around children and small pets so that you don't have something happen. Then what can you do with your little tea lights? You could even pick up something as simple as this little jar, and it has a little platform, and you can just put the candle on that platform and light it, and then it's going to reflect off of the glass, and you're going to be getting more light than just setting it on the table. So that's really handy. I picked these up a while ago at Dollar Tree, and you can probably find something similar at all kinds of different stores, or even at a thrift store or a yard sale. Just look around and be creative. What could I do with that item? How could it help me? And is it something I want to have in my prepping supplies stockpile? I also have purchased pillar candles, which are taller, wider candles, and then something as simple as a vase. You can drop the candle in there. It keeps it protected from, say, the wind and such, and then you can take your long utility lighter and reach down in and light it, and it's going to give hours of light compared to what you can get from just a tiny tea light. So there's a reason that we might want to have both of those in our stash and stockpile, but think about, how do you use these things, and how could they be useful to you in, say, a power outage? Then you might want to have a different variety. Something to think about with a candle, sometimes they refer to the candles that are already made in a jar as a 120-hour candle, and you're not going to be burning your candle continuously. You would use it for a few hours each evening, or maybe early in the morning if there's a power outage. So you can get a lot of light out of a large candle for many days at a time. They can last quite a while. Don't just think about your own comfort. What about your pets? I picked up a bunch of these little packets of Caesar dog food because I have a dog. These are simple to prepare. You just tear them open, and then I have some emergency food for my dog. And say something happens, if that he loses his appetite, maybe he's scared or he doesn't feel quite well, I can add some of this as a topping, and that can encourage him to keep eating. Just like we try to trick our little kids, we encourage them to eat. We want to make sure everybody is getting their proper nutrition. So having a little bit of a special treat even for your pet and some actual food to make sure that he has his sustenance is important. Think about your comfort and care. Pick up some first aid supplies. You can find, even at Dollar Tree, these wound care kits. There's all types of different items in the wound care kit. It has gauze pads, rolled gauze, tape, 20 pads, and assorted sizes. I also recently picked up this box that was a first aid kit, and I made a video about it recently. I loaded it up with extra supplies because it had a lot of space, and it's a sturdy box. There's room for a lot of first aid supplies within this container as well as in the wound care kit. There's lots of room to add more supplies so that you have a bigger, better first aid kit. Think about the pain relievers, the remedies that you need, fever reducers, muscle relaxers. What are the things that you need? Have a supply of those kind of medicines and remedies, the over-the-counter medications. You can pick them up even in a small bottle, and then you'll have a variety. And since summer is coming, mosquitoes and other insects and bugs are out, I picked up a new supply of the Afterbite, the itch cream, Afterbite sticks. These are just a stick. Oops. These are a stick. You open it up. It has a liquid in it, and you just rub it right on wherever your bite is, and it really is very soothing, and these are great. And if you wait until you have all kinds of mosquito bites, likely everyone else does too, and these may be all gone. So plan ahead that bugs will be here, just like the allergy season is here because it's spring. I know I've been sneezing a lot, going through my big stash of Kleenex, so that's on one of my next lists, is to get more Kleenex. So most of those items you can pick up for $1 or $2. And another item to get that could be very important is a bucket wrench. This is a few dollars more, but you need this if you're storing your food in buckets. You need to be able to open the bucket. And if you look on the bucket, there is a little spot here where you take your lid wrench, you insert it, and then you can actually pull off the lid and open your bucket so that you can access the food that you have inside. This bucket has 2 Mylar bags of sugar, so I'm keeping it airtight so it can last the longest, and then I'm keeping it in a bucket to keep it extra secure, and then I can make sure that I can open it when I need it. So these are some of my ideas of some of the best cheap items for your prepping supplies. Of course, the list could be limitless. This is just some ideas to get you started on things and categories of items that you may want to add to your prepping supplies in the near future. Let us know in the comments below, what are some other items that you suggest we get? We can learn a lot from each other by reading the comments, sharing ideas, and keeping this community going with strength and camaraderie. I hope you'll like my video, share it, please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.